Okay.
It's almost impossible for me to believe that somebody who is so young can direct a movie, or you just seem young. How old are you?
I'm 29. I'm I'm not. I don't think I'm crazily young.
No, not crazily, but you do look much younger.
Oh well, that's good. That's good. Everyone in Israel says that to me, so I'm glad about that.
So tell me a bit about how did you get into movie making? Did you go through the usual path at film school?
No, not really.
Graduation?
No, I studied Spanish and Italian at university, so I was studying languages, but I studied a lot of film as part of that. And then after I graduated, I just started making short films and doing other work outside the film industry to support myself. And then one short film that I made got into some festivals, and everything started happening from there. So yeah, basically teaching myself, learning by making mistakes rather than film school.
Do you generally believe in this, that this is the better way to study than the um, educational system?
I I believe that you have to basically do practical, actually make films to learn. But I think you can learn that in a film school, and you definitely get good contacts and all that. But I don't think you lose out on much by not going.
Do you remember what was your very first movie? I mean, of course you remember your first real movie, but when
Yeah.
you tried to make a movie, what was that about?
Uh, well, a couple of things at school actually. Um, yeah, we had to make a kind of Second World War spoof video. It was really bad, I think. I was trying very hard to be clever, and probably was not being very clever at all. But you know, it's good to have that behind me, and to have loads of films like that behind me. Now that means that the stuff that people see now is hopefully better than that was.
Did you have favorite British filmmakers who inspired you?
Um, Actually, most of the filmmakers that inspired me are not British.
Okay.
The ones that really that I kind of idolized when I really got into film in my teens, like Almodovar and Charlie Kaufman and Bertolucci. Yeah, they were all not British. I mean, there are lots of British films that I like. I love Powell and Pressburger, who were, 40s and 50s. They're very, very funny and clever and silly filmmakers, which I like. But no one figure apart from them in particular.
It's interesting that you're mentioning that Almodovar is one of your favorites because when I was reading the story of your movie, I was thinking about it like, wow, I bet Almodovar would really love this movie. It's such a...
Oh well, I would love to see if that's true or not. Yeah, it is that kind of crazy, but it's also in done in quite a British way. The characters are trying to be really liberated and anarchic, but they're also still quite reserved and embarrassed about talking about sex and all that. So it's kind of combines that wildness with a very British vibe.
So in your movie, sort of older woman or a woman who is not not in a generation who's easily changeable, let's say,
Yeah,
is
yeah,
going
yeah.
through a huge transformation.
Yeah.
Did you have a personal story around you which was similar, or you just wished you did have?
Yeah, I kind of wished. It was partly inspired by one of my best friend's mum, and her always saying, I think my mum might have these desires. I don't know if she'll ever realize. And so, yeah, in a way, this was my way of wondering what would happen if she did realize.
And how did your parents react when they saw the movie?
They like it. It's not too extreme, really. It's not as extreme as people sometimes think it will be. It's quite gentle, and yeah, they liked it. People asked them if it's based on my mum, which is not. But yeah, I think they find it fun. So that's a relief.
Do you find it important that people of any age would never stop changing?
Yeah, I think it's really important and neglected, and I think people of my parents' age, they're finally at a time when they, their children have left home, their jobs are secure, and they can actually have time to think about what they really want and what they do with their time. I think a lot of people that age have not just stopped and thought about it. So I think it is a really amazing age when people can rediscover themselves. But yeah, a lot of people don't get the chance to. So, hopefully this film can inspire a few more cases of that.
When you have a story which is so complex on so many levels, so it must be very difficult to find the right characters, to find the people who really are the way you imagine them. So tell me a bit about the casting process. How did you find these people?
Well, mostly through audition. It was low budget enough. We weren't offering the roles to big stars. We were able to meet with people and hear them read for the part. And most roles, we just knew straight away that somebody was right. It's sort of a cliche, but I think that you found someone when they fit what you were looking for, but they bring something else as well. So yeah, we had that, and a couple of people definitely changed. It wasn't really what I'd written, but yeah, that's how we knew we'd found the right people.
So now we are sitting here in the White City, Tel Aviv. Tell me, how did it treat you so far? Did you like it?
Very well, yeah. I'm a big fan so far. It's been a very short visit, but it was actually the first gay film festival that has invited us, because the film sort of is and isn't a gay film. So I was really pleased that they were open-minded about that, and yeah, I love it. I want to come back. I don't have time to do everything I want to do, so I'll be back, I'm sure.
And you've been also very open-minded for not hesitating if to accept the invitation or not. Britain is pretty notorious nowadays about not being very friendly with Israel.
Yeah, well, I think there are people in Britain who are creating that situation, but most people that I know, at least, are pretty open-minded. And everyone I've met in Israel and everyone I know in England is sort of aware that the forces that are creating these dynamics are not, it's not me and you. So yeah, I was happy to come and sort of see for myself what I made of your country. I'm loving it so far.
So now you're enjoying the success of this movie, but I'm sure that you're already having something in mind. What's going to be the next one?
Well, whichever one gets money first. I've got several ideas, and some of them are at different stages of being developed or being written. So yeah, I've tried not to have all my eggs in one basket, as we say. There are 3 or 4 different projects that I'm hoping will take off, and yeah, hopefully one will happen within the next year, and we'll have more money than we did with Bonobo, so that would be great for everyone involved.
So whichever wins, I hope we'll see it in a few years' time here in TLVFest.
Yeah, that would be great. I will
Thank you
definitely.
so much.
No, thank you. Thanks.